I've seen sales teams spend 6 months building the perfect sales playbook. 50 pages, beautifully formatted, every objection covered, every feature described. But the problem is nobody read it and nobody uses it. So if nobody is using your sales playbook, you don't really have one. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build one that actually gets used. But little disclaimer first. This video is not about making a complete guide about your company and every possible thing a rep could know. It's not about fancy methodologies either. It's about how to create one that helps your rep know what to do on their next call. Hey, I'm Carla, and in this channel I talk about sales enablement for SaaS. Playbooks, coaching, tools, so just everything you need to survive selling SaaS. So let's get into it. Sales playbooks and cooking have a lot in common. Think about a cake recipe. If you want 10 people to bake the same cake, you write the recipe down. If you don't, everyone just interprets it differently and you will get 10 different cakes. When you write the recipe down, it's not a thesis on the history of cake. It's not a 50-page guide to bake cake. It's just what are the ingredients, what you do with the ingredients, in what order, and a few basic about hygiene and cooking. It's clear enough that anyone can follow it. A sales playbook, it's exactly the same. I'm not saying this is easy to make your playbook simple. When we were in college, we were trained to do the opposite. Add more words, add more pages, add more content. The longer the paper, the better the grade. And it's an habit that is pretty hard to unlearn. But in the real world, less is better. Otherwise, adoption drops completely because nobody is going to read it or apply it. So what goes in the playbook? There are a lot of ways to build one. And if you want a fancy methodology stamped by a big SaaS company, this is not the good video for you. I'm going to show you how to build a simple playbook around 3 parts only. What to know, what to say, what to send. So let's start with what to know. The first part gives your rep the fundamentals of selling at your company. First, the ICP. If your ICP starts with every company doing ABC, it's time to review it. Here, we want you to be as specific as possible. The industry, company size, funding stage, geography, and the triggers that makes these companies ready to buy right now. The more specific, the better. Then, the UVP, unique value proposition. Be very clear about how you help your ICP with one sentence. What you do, for who, and what is the outcome. It's not a list of features, it's something. It's a sentence every single person in your company should know perfectly. The formula, one of the formula. We help target customer achieve outcome by unlike alternative. For instance, we help CTOs at enterprise SaaS reduce breach risk by detecting vulnerabilities in real time instead of waiting for the quarterly audits. It's short, it's specific, it's outcome-led. And then you will add your differentiators. What makes your solution unique? Then we jump into paid. No pain, no sales, that's a classic. But most companies still confuse situations with problems. Example, without our solution, companies don't know if they've been breached. Fine, but so what? What you need to know is the real pain. What's the risk if they are actually breached? How are they handling this today? What's the limits of that approach? Is there a reason this hasn't been fixed yet? Why is your solution the most adapted to their situation? Then the buyers. Companies are not buying anything, people do. So present in the playbook the people who are going to buy, their role, their objective, and how they are personally affected by those pains. Get in their head. And last part of what to know, your sales methodology and process. In very simple words, your methodology, it's the key principles you rely on to sell. Some companies use Netpeak, Sandler, Spin. It gives everyone selling standards. Your sales process is the stages from the first moment you meet a prospect to closing and upselling. Prospecting, discovery, demo, closing. I'll make a full video about this, but I'm going to drop in the meantime a Notion with a simple methodology you can use if you are a SaaS selling to SMBs and a sales process template. You're welcome. Second part, what to say. This section is about turning theory into practice. It's not about script or frameworks on the slide, it's the real things that work in the real world. The emails that actually get replies, the DMs that booked meeting, the questions that make your prospect talk instead of giving you one-word answers. It's the objection that you really hear on calls and why prospects are rating them. And finally, it's also your competitive positioning. When you're in front of a specific competitor, what do you say? What do you ask? What do you not say? What are the real differences that matter to the buyer? In this section, you do not say to your rep what they need to know, but what is really working to help them sell. Last section of our playbook, what to send. This is where I see the most waste. Most teams either send too much, like a 21 slide deck nobody will ever read, or nothing useful at all. Two assets every team should have. First, a one-pager, one-page covering, a recap of their situation and problems, why they should solve this, why they should solve it now, and who needs to be involved, and what is the next step. Of course, always set the next step. A prospect can read this in 2 minutes, forward it, and know exactly where they stand. Second one, a short personalized deck. Not a company presentation, a few slides built around a specific prospect. Their problem, the consequences of the problem, how you're going to solve it, the solution, the pricing, the next step. So now you have a playbook, but the hard part is not building it. Most playbooks are written once and they just sit there unused. The market changes, new objections appear, a rep finds a new play that works better than anything in the playbook, a competitor launches a new product, but the playbook doesn't know that. So static playbook just drifts from reality, slowly at first and then really fast. So rep just stops trusting it. They go back to doing what feels right, and you're back to everyone selling differently. What makes a playbook work long term is the feedback. It's real deal feeding back into it. Winning plays that are added, outdated things that are removed. The playbook should get better because of what's happening on real codes, on real deals. So a good playbook is short, is specific, and is built around 3 things: what to know, what to say, what to send. So make it collaborative. Make sure it reflects the reality of selling and make sure it gets updated from real deals. Thank you for watching and see you soon.